I would love to begin our podcast with you guys taking us through kind of the origin story of the company, and also highlighting, the way you guys found this opportunity and niche within the security camera trailers.
Yeah, I mean, taking it back to the humble beginning roots, who Michael and I met back in 2013, I think. It's kind of a blur at this point, 2012 maybe. And, quickly found the synergies of the like-minded individuals, right? Saying, wow, this is somebody I could work really well with. And when we partnered up in 2013 and really brought Mr. Security Camera to fruition, it started out as kind of humble beginnings. We were originally working out of my garage back in 2013. We built momentum really, really quick. In 2014, we got our first office. Funny story about that. I was just going through some pictures last week of Michael and I in that office, and we had built out some walls. We thought we were really cool. Security guys doing construction, by the way. It's a little scary sometimes. we had great supervision that made sure the wall was sound. I'll promise you guys that. But looking back and seeing that first office, where we came from, and getting our first employee, that all started to grow rapidly quick in 2014. And I mean, from there, we were primarily a residential-based service company, providing video surveillance for residential families. And a lot of times in that particular market, it's a very reactive type of market space to be into. Something happens, maybe a break-in or, vandalized car, broken window, et cetera, and they call and they need security now. And Michael and I both had a lot of passion being a part of our community to assist those that felt vulnerable, that needed help, and they needed it now. And we built a really good brand and name around that here in Sacramento, and that was Mr. Security Camera. Changed around 2017, we made a pivot within the business to primarily offer security for commercial and government services. Now, although we're still very passionate about security, it took that reactive, we're really helping our local neighbor, to something a little bit different. Now, still providing safety and security for our communities, still providing that need for our neighbors, so to speak, but just in a different manner. To fast forward to today, we got into the mobile security in about 2023. And it wasn't necessarily reinventing the wheel. We saw a need from our clientele base being into new construction, multifamily housing, shopping centers, strip malls, et cetera, providing on-premise security solutions. It really went hand in hand to offer that mobile. So I went to Michael. He's our chief technology officer. I went to Michael. I said, Michael, I've got a dream. How can we make it happen? And again, he's the technology piece. So I'll kind of pass it on to him about, what he did to bring the vision to fruition and really get us our first unit out on the road.
It's kind of funny. There's a part of the origin story he skipped over, and it was at the very beginning. At the time, we weren't partners. He was a customer of mine. I had an import distribution business of security devices. And I saw, and there's a little age difference, not a huge age difference here, but I saw this young guy coming in every day, and he was buying consistently. And I was like, wow, you're doing pretty good business here. And one day I just asked the question and said, hey, are you licensed by chance? And he's like, you need to be licensed for this? I was like, oh, yeah. And that's actually where the real origin started. I was a licensed contractor. We joined forces at the time. And we haven't looked back since. We've been full speed ahead. And it was a funny, small nuance of that story, but it was a start of not just the business, but a relationship that's lasted. And to this day, we're great friends. Our families share everything together, and it's an awesome place to be.